Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are around this beautiful planet of ours. Today's video, we are looking at exactly when to buy Bitcoin for ultimate gains that beats the billionaires. Yes, I have physical proof that this plan has done better than the billionaires out there. So before it sounds way too good to be true, we'll get into the data and the stats. Anyone can do this. Beginner level crypto investors, Bitcoin traders, can do this plan. Now, I know it sounds all way too good to be true. It's just some simple setup stuff, which we'll go through in this video. And I'll continue to update this plan on the channel here. It'll be a series, so make sure you do subscribe with the bell notification icon. Click all so that YouTube knows that you want to see this content in your newsfeed to get the updates. Of course, like the video. I'll remind you at the end again in case you want to wait to see if it's worth your while. A couple of tools that I'll use, I've left them in the video description if you choose to use them as well. One is Bybit, 0% on all spot pairs at the time of this recording, but they always have good specials and deals going on. Link in the top of the video description. Also, you can get up to $4,500 of sign-up bonuses. Obviously, my channel here will continue to update these, and you'll find them under the playlists. This will be for the macro Bitcoin market analysis. There's also the free newsletter that we have with the Investor Accelerator. And if you want to extend your education, there is light and premium memberships over there as well. Links to all this in the video description. No stress about it right now. First things first, the price of Bitcoin right now is 19,400 at the time of this recording. Now, the beauty about this plan is that it does not need to be managed with much time at all per day. It could literally be maximum 3 minutes. You need to check a price, you need to check a number on the fear and greed index, and then decide if you need to make a trade or not. And as you'll see, there's only been a handful of times that we've needed to do that during the past few months and also over the course of the last couple of years. There's several trades there, but it doesn't take that much time, right? So 19,400, the market is churning around at these prices and has been for the last three and a half months. Now, to execute this plan, we'll need a few websites. TradingView is one of those. The Fear and Greed Index, alternative.me, is the website I'm using here to give us our index reading. And of course, a spreadsheet. You can use any spreadsheet out there, but for the guys in the membership, TIA Lite and Premium, they get access to this particular spreadsheet here where we can log all of our purchases, the dates, the entry price, the amounts, and the total amount of Bitcoin that is invested. So it gives us a running average price of Bitcoin, our returns, profit and loss, that sort of thing. So whatever you choose to use, go and do that. If you want this one, check out the links to TI Lite and Premium, link in the video description. Once we've got these three websites, all we're going to do is look at the Fear and Greed Index and look for this reading here. So the strategy, the rules, super simple. This alone would have beaten a billionaire. It's crazy how simple some things can be if you have a plan in place and you don't get swept up in the FOMO. Entry trigger. Buy on market open if Fear and Greed Index is equal to or less than 15, not 16, not 17, not 18, but 15 or under. And all we're looking at here is this reading right here. So look at it when the market closes, open up the site for yourself, and then just record the reading here. If it's 15 or under, you buy Bitcoin, and you can go back and test all of this for yourself. But essentially, this is the results from 2021 and 2022, the entire bull market and bear market thus far. So if we add in all of these purchases, which currently is 74 times we've bought the market on the open at 15 or under, not 16 or 17, or I'm not adjusting that plan, just 15 or under, our average price is 28,272. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, has an average price of $30,639 with $4 billion in the market. So following this simple strategy alone, you would have beaten a billionaire, someone who's thrown $4 billion into the market, by at least $2,300. That is wild when you consider how much money people throw at these markets without a very basic plan. And what I'm going to show you as well is that this plan can be altered very slightly. We would be adding in very simple, extremely simple filters. I like to keep it very simple here. There are plenty of ways that we can make it far more complex, but For the average investor, someone who might have other jobs going on, they don't want to spend all their time in front of the computer, let's keep it super, super simple. And all we'd be doing is adding in a filter. And a filter is essentially a set of rules, or in this case, one, maybe two rules, for when to buy and sell investments. So this plan just covers when to buy. We're looking long-term into the future, just buying. I got a simple one coming up. So for now, we're just looking at this one rule, 15 or under, but we're going to add in that swing indicator that I talked about just earlier on a monthly scale. So you only need to look at this thing on a monthly basis to see if the trend had changed as a trigger to either buy or avoid buying in the market. That's that simple. Now I've got a couple of other average prices that I want to have a look at as well, but it does sound way too simple. I understand that, but the real difficulty is, especially if you've been here through the bull and the bear market, you would know that the difficulty is the patience and only taking the trades when your plan says to take them. Not when Michael Saylor says that he's buying $6 million worth of Bitcoin at an average price of 19,800. Not when Elon Musk tweets. Not when the next big crypto news channel talks about a particular coin or Bitcoin and it has to go up, or not about when we get some hype around some sort of hard fork or merge or anything like that, right? This is just a simple plan with simple, clean rules so that you can wipe out all of those emotions. The most difficult, and it sounds very simple, the most difficult part is basically the patience. Have the patience. That's so hard. In practice, it is very hard. In theory, it sounds very simple. Don't worry, we'll get there. So this simple plan again is having these three windows open. Your Bitcoin chart on the daily chart, crypto, fear and greed index, alternative.me, and whatever spreadsheet you choose to use. So day opens, you look at the day, where did it open, and what was the reading of that day? Today, the reading is 20, and the date here is 23rd of September. We have a look at where the market opened at $19,400, but it's not a buy order. Therefore, we don't do anything. It's that simple. It's that quick. Open this, have a reading. If it's 15 or under, go to your chart, have a look at what the open price was, go to your exchange, whether that's Bybit or another exchange, and basically just buy at that market price. Now, you need to have a couple of other things in play. You need to know how much you want to invest per purchased. It could be $1,000, it could be $100, it could be $10. It's entirely up to you. And then obviously these figures will all differ depending on how much you decide to purchase on that day. The other couple of things to have a look at are the exit triggers for a loss if you choose to exit the market. We're trading on spot here with a longer term outlook, maybe 5 years or 10 years. So at this stage, I'm not looking at any sort of exit triggers for now. But for me personally, I'm looking at Gann rules and Wyckoff rules. This is part of my technical analysis strategies, and an exit trigger for profit. So I'm going to base this also on Gann analysis and Wyckoff analysis. I talk more about this on the channel, and it's a bit beyond the scope of this video. So make sure you are subscribed, the notification icon, so you can stay up to date with those sort of things. Risk management is the next massive one. How much do you want to risk of your capital? Maybe you have $1,000 all up. You'd want to be able to split that between a certain number of purchases. And so far you can see over the last 2 years within that zone, it's been about 74 purchases. So you'd want to divide that up wisely across a particular period of time. So I've got 3 prices to have a look at, and these will include different filters. Now, the first one was super simple. I've called it a no filter. Basically, it's one filter, and that one filter is if the fear and greed index is at 15 or under. So that's your one rule for the plan. So we'll check that off. We basically did all purchases in 2021 and 2022. Very simple. We can improve this and get a better average price with very simple mechanical type rules. The next one, when I look at, is a time filter. This one is all purchases in 2022. Maybe you came into the market late, you didn't make it in 2021, and you're just buying every time the market was at 15 or under, the index 15 or under in 2022. That's it. Of course, there can be so many other strategies and you can put these to use, but for this example, I just want to look at all of the purchases in 2022. So the first purchase was on the 6th of January. Let's take an average of all of these purchases. They're as high as $43,000, and there were all the way up to 74 here. So let's get an average, and that is now $27,147. Call it $27,200 if you wish. And now with that one simple time analysis here, and we could throw a number of reasons in why we would only choose to get in the market again in 2022. But if we're just doing that in a time analysis, it was still $3,400 under Michael Saylor's purchases here, $30,600. We just saw an average here of $27,200. I'll round it up. So we are really crushing this particular billionaire here, and you can see why it can be that simple. Now I want to add one more filter. It's going to improve it a little bit more, especially in 2022. Now, the next filter we want to look at is the monthly swing filter. This is going to improve our result again to give us that opportunity to, again, beat the billionaires and make that extra crypto riches for our Bitcoin, because ultimately we either want to make money from Bitcoin or use some of that Bitcoin to then go and make money on altcoins as well. We'll talk about that in future videos, but essentially different cycles. Bitcoin potentially moving first, altcoin seasons come next. We want to make money on both. I think this is a nice, clean, simple, easy way to do that. And in this case, we're going to use the monthly swing filter. We just looked at time filter, monthly swing filter. Let's take a look at that. Back to trading view, we've got our TI again swing indicator up here. Now it's very simple to use. I'll turn this on. And if we have settings here, we just open up the show swing break line. I changed it to red and have it dotted here so that it shows up on the chart. And essentially, I just want to buy when the market breaks down from the swing. The upper level here is when the market breaks to the upside, and we can show that with our trend changing color. So now we're buying when the fear and greed index is at 15 or below, and our filter is that the monthly swing has to be down, and down equals red. It's drawing a horizontal dotted line here to show us when that occurs. And also the red in the background is the overall trend. So you can see the first time it happened was back here in June of 2018, and this whole entire period was red. So we could just say we're going to buy Bitcoin anytime it's at 15 or under on the fear and greed index. Buy, 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 buy. We can block it out here in the gray zone because there were buying opportunities there in the fear and greed index. If we bring this over to max, you can see that the market was telling us that during the period, there were times here, July, August, September of 2019, that the market was at 15 or below. So here is August and July. These numbers were coming in under that point, but it was much above these current lows. Now we get the red in the C19 crash. So go ahead, buy, 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 buy in those fearful times. And now again in 2022, the monthly swing broke down here in May and has continued to stay red on the monthly swing. So anytime the indicator 15 or under from May 2022, buy. That simple. And that would block out this area in January of 2022. You can see that there were some purchases here in January. There it is. All of those purchases there. It would stop you from buying 43K all the way down to 35K and only put in the areas from May onwards, which would then, and this is the fun part, give us an average price of 25,957. So again, it's improved our position just by a simple technique here using the monthly swing, which is super simple to set up. It's a monthly indicator, so you don't even have to be at a screen every single day looking at the trend like this. It does it all automatically for you using that swing indicator. In essence, we've completed 3 different trading plans to establish which one is potentially going to give us better results in the future. Now, it's a couple of simple filters and indicators that we've just added into the mix here. You can see the results have dramatically improved from 28,200 to 25,900. So we've got some good results here. Yes, I hear at the other end of the monitor saying it's 19,500 now. Potentially it's at 10,000. Who knows what happens in the future? And that's exactly the point about having a plan and adjusting your risk. And in future videos, I'll talk about different ways to pyramid your entries into the market in case you don't want to buy everything at the one time, or if you don't want to have equal positions during each of these purchases, meaning maybe you don't want to buy $100 every single time it hits 15 or under with the monthly swing. Maybe you want to have it in a more pyramid style. So if it was at 25,000, you'll buy less than if it happened to drop to 20,000, you might buy a little more. But that's the point about trading and investing. You just need to figure out which times are going to have better risk and reward, and then action that on your plan. You never know if the market is going to go further down here to 11,000, 13,000, 16,000, or if 17,500 is the bottom. So you just need to take action on a plan and devise something that is simple enough for your own lifestyle and education level. And then obviously your risk management as well. How are you going to implement this and what are you comfortable with? That brings us up to date for the Bitcoin fear and greed buying plan. I hope you found a ton of value from that. So if you did, smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn more, go and check out TIA Premium and Lite for those updates, plus the plans and the spreadsheets themselves. We discuss a lot around the trading and investing side of crypto and real estate within the membership on weekly calls with all of our members where they can ask Q&A as well in the group. And one final reminder, an investment plan doesn't have to be limited to something that you see online if those rules have already been implemented. You might also see this particular plan that I've created for the channel as well. And this one takes a lot more patience. So you have to find something that suits your particular personality. A lot of people could not wait to buy Bitcoin all the way down at these lower levels because they just didn't feel like it was going to make it that far, especially during November and December of 2021. So there's a lot of differences you need to weigh up, and that's going to come with time and experience in the markets. I do update this plan on the channel as well. Of course, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys at the next video on the channel or as a member in TIA. Remember, all the links are in the video description for any tools that I have used here. Catch you at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done. Peace out.